My name is Gaia Athena and today I'm going to do the 52 Nifty Bookish Questions tag. And this tag was originally by Stripcover Lit and I was tagged by Booky Lorra, so thank you very much for tagging me. I will leave both of their links to their videos down below. The first question is, what book are you reading right now? And I'm actually not reading any book. I just finished a book, hold on. I just finished Volwassen Worden is Optioneel by Marloes de Vries. This was the last book I finished and I haven't started a new one yet. I got some other things to do that I want to do first. I filmed a wrap up for all my graphic works that I just read. So I want to edit that, I want to edit this video. I have some other things to do. And I have some YouTube to watch, so I might not start another book today. We will see. What was the last thing you highlighted? To be honest, I haven't highlighted anything in the past few years. And the only time I've ever done that was on my Kindle. Because I don't like to highlight in books and, you know, write in them. I would only do that. I would have, you know, I can understand doing that when you're studying. But, like, normally, no. The only time I've ever done that is with a few non-fiction books that I read on my Kindle. And so the last time I highlighted was sometime in 2013, but I don't know which book it was. So. What do you plan to read next? I don't know that yet. I have something in mind, but sometimes I feel like I jinx it by telling somebody and then I suddenly don't feel in the mood for it anymore. So I don't want to do that because I'm not sure yet what I'm going to read. So, and I don't want to jinx it. One fiction writer, living or dead, with which you would like to grab a drink. Brandon Sanderson, I think, because I just love his works. I don't think I'd be able to really talk much because I tend to just turn really shy. But I would find it interesting to talk to. One non-fiction writer, living or dead, with which you would like to grab a drink. I think that would be somebody who's written an autism memoir. I'm currently not quite sure which one. I don't know if Judith Visser counts because her book is fiction, but it is very, very autobiographical. So if that is allowed, then I would pick her because I'd love to talk to her. And she has autism and we have some things in common. I would love to talk to her. If that is not allowed, because the book is technically like not 100% non-fiction, it is found in the fiction section, then it would be another autism memoir writer, but I don't know on top of my head like who it would be. And then one poet, living or dead, with whom you'd like to grab a drink. I don't read poetry, it's not for me, so I wouldn't know. One booktuber with which you'd like to grab a drink. Right now I would pick Charlie Brooke because I'd love to meet him one day. But there are also other people I'd like to meet. Booky Lorra was actually my first subscriber, so I'd love to have a drink with her too. Although I don't drink alcohol, but I drink in, like, I'll just have water. Anyway. Emily Dickinson or Edgar Allan Poe. I have not read anything by either one of them and I'm not that interested in doing so I have no answer for this one. Hemingway or Fitzgerald. I haven't read anything by them. I don't really read classics, so I have no answer. Jane Austen or Charles Dickens. I have only read a couple of short stories by Charles Dickens and I have read nothing by Jane Austen. I really liked A Christmas Carol. I really did not like the other 4 short stories that were in the book. I think there was 4. So, not Dickens, and I haven't read Austen, so again, no answer. Harris or Hitchens. I have no idea who these people are. Stephen King or Michael Crichton. I have read a few books by Stephen King and I've liked most of them a lot. And I've only read one book by Michael Crichton and I liked that one a lot too. So I guess I'm gonna have to go with Stephen King because I really liked like 3 of the books I've read by him. Whereas the one Michael Crichton book I've read I liked but I didn't love. But I'd like to read more by both of these authors. Bret, Easton, Ellis or Chuck Palahniuk. I haven't read either one of these, so. Kurt Vonnegut or John Green. I've only read stuff by John Green, so I'd have to go with John Green. Shakespeare's poems or plays. Well, poetry is not for me, so I'd have to go with the plays. Adrian Ford or Dalton Gentry? No idea. Cormac McCarthy or J.K. Rowling? I've not read anything by Cormac McCarthy, but I have read the Harry Potter books by J.K. Rowling, so J.K. Rowling. Hannibal Lecter or Voldemort? Neither. I'm not big on villains, and I don't think either one of these are nice people, so. T.C. Ball or George Saunders? I don't know either one of these. Good writing or good story? Good story, definitely. I have definitely liked books that have a good story but didn't have an exceptional writing style, whereas if the writing style is really good, that's nice, but if the story is not nice and the characters are not nice, then I'm not going to enjoy it. YA or children's lit? That is very difficult because I really like both, and I read both, so I don't think I could choose, because I don't want to be with either one of them. I like to read both. Irony or humor? I would have to say humor. Science fiction or horror? When it comes to adult books and young adult books, I would have to say science fiction. When it comes to children's books, which I would have to say horror. I don't know if that's allowed. But. Fantasy or non-fiction? That's really difficult because in early days I would have said fantasy, but I really am enjoying biographies and memoirs, and I'm assuming those fall under non-fiction, so both. Rather find a new favorite contemporary writer or a new favorite all-time great? I would have to say a new contemporary writer, because then you can look forward to new books that are coming out and like keep up with it today with their news, and I just prefer reading newer books anyway. Sonnet or haiku? I would have to say haiku. Sestina or villanelle? I have no idea what either one of these are. Spend the evening at the library or bookstore? Library. Magazine or Wikipedia article? I would have to say Wikipedia article. I like reading magazines from time to time, and if they're free to read, then I don't mind, but Wikipedia is free and magazines are a bit expensive here, so I don't often buy them. Dictionary or encyclopedia? I would say encyclopedia. That seems more fun to read. The writer I would like to write my biography. Well, I'd like to write it myself if I ever do write a memoir, but biography is not the same as a memoir, so if I do ever write the memoir, I want myself to write it, but a biography, I don't know, honestly. Question 32, I do or do not highlight in my books? I don't. Question 33, I do or don't write in my books? I don't. Earliest memory of a library? I think it'd have to be my school library. When I was about 10, I don't really remember going to the library when I was much younger, but maybe we did and I just don't remember. That's my earliest memory, and after that I went to the library and I could read my own books, but I don't really remember. Sorry, there's a train. I don't really remember going to the library not being able to read, so that would have to be my earliest memory. Last time you went to the library? I think it was about a week and a half ago. They were having a library sale. I would have gone last weekend, but they were closed because it's carnival here. So then the library is closed, but I went the weekend before that one because there was a sale. Have you ever stolen or accidentally stolen books from the library? No. Ballpark, how many books do you own? A lot. My database tells me how many books I have, but a small portion of my collection consists of books on my Kindle and ebooks that I've bought with Humble Bundle. And then some Kindle freebies that I downloaded I've also put in my database, so... But definitely, I want to say thousands. How many books do you think would make for a reasonable personal library? I think that really depends on the person. I have a lot of them. Most people have less, but I think whatever you're comfortable with. I mean, one shelf could be a personal library. It just depends on what you like and how much money you have, and so yeah. So the Sense and Sensibilities, Sea Monsters, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, etc. How do you feel about the phenomenon? Those books are not really for me, I think. I don't really like classics, and so I haven't read anything like this, but like if people want to read it, then, you know, go for it. I mean, I don't mind it, as long as they do it on like copyright free books, then yeah, I don't mind. But it's not for me, I think. Horror trope you would like to see get more love. I'm not really sure what any horror trope is, to be honest. I don't know what any trope is unless I learn of the name and what it is, so, and I haven't heard of any horror ones, so I really wouldn't know. Something you think gets underutilized in sci-fi? I wouldn't know. Flash fiction, form of and format of literature, or just a short story? I don't really know a lot about flash fiction, to be honest. I have one book on my Kindle that consists of 365 really short pieces. Science fiction they are, so it is called 30-Second Sci-Fi, 365 Stories of a Science Fictional Nature by Philip Trippenbach. I bought this book on Kindle and I read the first like third or so of the book. I think that's my only experience with, I presume that would be what flash fiction is, because otherwise I really don't know, so I don't know. In general, I prefer reading novels over short stories, but I do like to read short stories now and then, even though I don't always enjoy them, so yeah. If you could own one book of all of history, what would it be? I really don't know. I don't really like classics all that much, so I'm not really sure. I guess if we're talking about something really special, then I guess maybe like a really specially illustrated Middle Ages something, or, but yeah, I don't really know. Audiobooks the same as reading, yes. I mean, not quite the same, but I say they're definitely reading. They're not for me, but lots of people use them and they like them a lot, so why not? I'd say it's reading, so. Most literary songwriter of your lifetime? I have no idea. What writer embarrasses you the most because you haven't read them? I don't know. I'm not sure that I really get embarrassed about something like that, so. What is a biography you're looking forward to reading? Well, most of the books in their genre I look forward to reading are memoirs. I can't really think of a biography, because that's about somebody's whole life, whereas I mostly read memoirs. I do have a few biographies, but I don't really know. Do you have a dream reading cubby? I'm assuming that means like a place where you sit and read. Not really. I would love to someday have like a huge room with all my books, and then have like a comfy sofa or something in there, but then also like to read in bed. But yeah, I don't know. Last literary phenomenon that really got your gears grinding? I really don't know. I don't really keep like up to date with this. To be honest, I don't even know if gears grinding, if that's supposed to be something positive or negative. What was the last piece of literature that changed the way you read? I don't think really any books change the way I read, because I just read. So some of them have changed me as a person, but not necessarily changed my reading really. What booktuber have you been watching most recently? I watch a lot of people, and I have to watch my subscription books in chronological order. So my subscriptions, like I try to watch YouTube every day, but some days I am too tired, so I always go from like the oldest where I left off like last time, and then go up to the newest, and I have to do it in that order, because otherwise it's hard to remember what I haven't seen, and like I get confused. So it's easiest to just like scroll down on to where I left off, the last video I have seen, and then go up, and I have to do it chronologically. So I watch lots of different people, because there's not many people who upload like several videos of themselves at the same time. So I don't know how many people I'm subscribed to, but it's a lot. But yeah, I have to do it in chronological order really. That just works best for me. And then I can also make sure I don't miss something. So that's the end of the tag. I started recording this and I don't really know who has and hasn't done this. I know a few people have done this, but I can't remember who knew heaven. And I recently tagged a lot of people in the booktube trope tag, which I don't know when this tag is going up, but yeah, I don't really know who I want to tag, because I recently already tagged like so many people. Although that was a while ago, but yeah, so I don't know. Well, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!